What's up, y'all, and welcome back to another episode of that Dynamite review on the Tricology News Star. I know y'all probably missed us last week. It was spring break week. I was out of town, with family in Orlando, so we had to skip 1 week. But no worries, we are back for this week, and it is WrestleMania week. So a lot of things are happening this week going on, especially not just in AEW, but every company around the world that's have their own special events going on. But let's also welcome back our co-host, Mr. Leland Benford. What's up, bro?
What is good? Yeah, it's been a minute since we've been on doing these reviews, but I'm excited we are back. Looking forward to talk more AEW content. A lot has kind of changed in a minute, but I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah, most definitely. And I know there's been a lot of talks of one of the founding fathers of AEW, Cody Rhodes, could be showing up at WrestleMania. But is it going to be true? Or I'm hearing rumors that this could be a work and he might show up on ROH Supercard of Honor on Friday. What do you think?
Wow. I mean, hey, if that happens, holy crap. It seemed like WWE was very confident that they got him locked in. We got reports that it's going to be a $3 million contract that he's already signed and sealed, and it's going to happen. I heard rumors they're going to keep him off WrestleMania and bring him on to the Raw on the Monday Night Raw after WrestleMania. So, I mean, it's just one of those things where there's a lot of speculation. There's a lot of, just rumors going around. So we would just have to kind of wait and see what the final of this is going to be. So, looking forward to kind of seeing what this weekend, or actually I can't even say this weekend, but let's see what the wrestling world looks like Tuesday, because I think next Wednesday we're going to have a lot more to talk about. Next Thursday, a lot more to talk about. So, yeah, it's going to be a game-changing weekend one way or the other.
Yeah, most definitely. And WrestleMania week did start with WrestleMania Raw. That made me kind of feel like they don't care about the Raw after WrestleMania. Well, it hasn't been like the most hype thing in the world says that ever since. So that's nothing to worry about. We had NXT 2.0 on Tuesday. That was the go home show for this Saturday's Stand and Deliver. And then on Wednesday, of course, we had Dynamite last night. And Thursday, we got Impact as well for tonight, for Thursday. And then Friday is going to be Stat. We got WrestleMania SmackDown. Then the Hall of Fame with The Undertaker going there. I'll be definitely watching that. I want to hear his speech and everything. Of course, the Steiner brothers, Queen Sharmell, Shaq Gaspar winning the Warriors Award. Also, I want to hear those. And what else we got? We got the Impact Multiverse of Madness show. Even though that won't be live, I heard it was pre-taped. So if you don't want to hear spoilers, don't search up anything Impact. But also we have the Ring of Honor, Supercard of Honor, and I'm very definitely looking forward to that. Will be the Ring of Honor's first promotion with Tony Khan as their new president and owner. So I definitely will look out for that. And then of course Saturday is Stand and Deliver and WrestleMania Night 1, and then Sunday WrestleMania Night 2. So that's going to be a hell of a week.
It's the most exciting week for wrestling every year. I know Tony Khan was saying he doesn't want like his wrestling, like his people to be doing too much work during this weekend because he feels like WrestleMania is like the, kind of the big thing. So that just shows his respect for the wrestling business, even as a wrestling fan. That's like, WWE is his competition, but he just wants to respect their weekend because it is a weekend that is like the biggest in wrestling. For our form of sport that we like to watch.
Yeah, and I kind of respect Tony Khan saying that, oh, we don't want to do a pay-per-view right on WrestleMania week. So that's why AEW kind of has their own WrestleMania in Revolution. Like that we this past February, like we mentioned, that was probably the WrestleMania of that WrestleMania. So to look forward to, because this one is not WrestleMania because we getting a lot of celebrities, but that's just another story. We'll wait till that in the weekend. But a lot of things is happening last night. So let's get it straight on to it. So the first match of the night, we had CM Punk going against Mad Casters of the Acclaim. So when Mad Caster and Acclaim did their rap, they did mention the Will Smith and Chris Rock Oscar incident in there, and even John Cena said on social media, he said Mad Caster is going to be a big thing going up at AEW. So before we get to the rest of this match, I want to hear your thoughts, not only John Cena's respect on Mad Caster, like because John Cena see Mad Caster like his old Dr. Thugonomics persona, and then of course the Will Smith and Chris Rock incident.
Oh, we could do a whole show about the Will Smith and Chris Rock incident. But to talk about Cena giving props to Caster, that's dope, because Cena, he did that gimmick for a while. And I think they're two different gimmicks, they are, they have something in common that they're both like, rapping gimmicks, but they're totally different as far as character and the way they approach it. Where John Cena's Thugonomics try to be this hard battle rapper, where Caster is very kind of a goofy kind of dude. And they do all these odd things. Like I remember Caster like kissing the guy's hand when he wins. Like that's something the Thugonomic guy wouldn't do. So Caster is definitely like his own character, his own guy. He's just a goofy dude compared to Cena. So I think, but I like the fact that there was mutual respect there from Cena. Yeah, I mean, I'm a big fan of Caster. Like every time he comes out, you'll see me turning up the TV a little bit because I just want to hear what he's going to say. So, but yeah, I think it's cool to see him giving out that praise to him.
Yeah, they're very good points there. So, in the final moments of the match, with the officials' back was turned, Bowens pushed Punk over the top rope, and Caster landed a coast-to-coast dropkick for the 2. He went for the mic drop, but Punk rolled out of the way and hit a straight power driver, and then follow up with the Anaconda Vice submission for the win. And then after the match, Punk did the belt gesture, asked, "What does this mean?" He said he don't know who will be champion, whether it will be Cowboy Shit Hatman Adam Page or Adam Cole Bang Bang. But before his time at AEW is over, he will be world champion. So my question to you is, now we on the road to Las Vegas, Double or Nothing. So we have 3 choices here. Would you rather see a rematch with Adam Cole and Adam Page, or should we see Adam Page versus CM Punk, Adam Cole versus CM Punk, or just put them all together in a triple threat match like they did last year with Kenny Omega, Pac, and Orange Cassidy?
I mean, I think in my opinion, it's a win-win no matter what. I don't think you can really lose no matter what we decide to do with that. You know what I mean? So for me, it's a win-win regardless. So any way that pairs to be, I'm cool.
Yeah, because I definitely can see this being a triple threat, just because. And then whoever eats the pin, when well, matter of fact, let me just say, whoever doesn't get pinned will probably face that whoever's the champion by the time at Full Gear. So I'm saying Heyman Adam Page will hold on to the title and then face CM Punk at Full Gear in November, and that's when CM Punk wins the world title. And as far as from Adam Cole, like we mentioned before, is Kenny Omega is due to return soon. So we are going to get the elite versus the what they should be called the undisputed elite. So that's the way I see it. That's the way I see it.
Yeah, for sure. The undisputed elite versus the elite. That'll be a good match. And also, Kenny Omega was on BTE this week. They had BTE 300. Happy to see him back. That means, maybe he's getting close to, being back ready to be on. So happy to see him back on that.
Yeah, he's looking good. Yeah, but we can't wait for him to return. So MJF, FTR, and Mark Sterling were backstage. MJF was asked why Wardlow's posters was everywhere. Then he blew them off to talk about FTR and Shawn Spears' upcoming matches. The poster would remind everyone that Wardlow is banned from the premises. That said, Wardlow is still their friend. So MJF accuses Wardlow of talking shit behind their back. MJF said the Pinnacle will always be on top, and FTR hesitated and agreed. Now, listen, we already saw the split up between the inner circle. So we already teased that this is kind of a tease that the Pinnacle is going to get broken up as well, because Wardlow has gone away from MJF. FTR fired Tony Blanchard as their manager, and they're expected to have Bret Hart in their corner soon, which I'll get to that. Explain more of that in a second. But I see FTR might turn baby faces soon, because they're in a rivalry with the Young Bucks, which we also get to that in a second. I don't know where Shawn Spears' allegiance is going to lie after this, but I feel like once the Pinnacle is done, then MJF is going to be by himself. So what are your thoughts on this situation?
So with the Pinnacle, I think the most important thing, I think they're going to really kind of disband them, because first off, they wasn't really pushing them too much. They wasn't coming out together. It wasn't like this unit that they were portraying. So I think they're about to just disband that group, only so we can have like closure to it and don't just like fickle out. Having it be around Wardlow is great, because you keep hearing Dak saying, "Hey, Wardlow was our guy too. Like, he's our friend too, and this is between you and him. This has nothing to do with Pinnacle business. So don't make this a Pinnacle thing. Make it an MJF versus Wardlow thing, because the moment you get us involved, we're going to be neutral because we like Wardlow too." And it looks like right now they like Wardlow more than they like MJF. But this just shows more character development of MJF, where he needs to have protectors. He needs to have bodyguards. He needs to have people in his corner all the time, his lackeys, in order for him to feel like he can accomplish, big things there. So I'm happy that they're giving Pinnacle a kind of ending. And we're starting to see all of our OG factions start to die out a little bit in AEW, and we got a lot of new blood coming in and a bunch of new groups coming in. So I'm happy to see the Pinnacle. Like I said, they wasn't really pushing it. It wasn't like they was coming out every week, roughhousing people. It was one of those things that they just needed to put together to go against the Inner Circle. And now that the Inner Circle is gone, do we need the Pinnacle?
Yeah, but we'll see what happens in the couple of weeks. And so Jon Moxley versus Jay Lethal. We are finally seeing Jay Lethal back in television, and this was a really great match. And in the final moments of the match, Lethal went for the figure four, but Moxley cradled him for the 2, and then hit the Paramount Shift for the win. And then after the match, the two shook hands. So I'm gonna make a prediction here. I don't know if this is gonna happen, but I feel like Jay Lethal is gonna join Bryan Danielson, Jon Moxley, and Real Regal.
That's interesting. I don't see him joining necessarily, only because they were saying that they're looking for these young guys. They were looking for people that they can train and things like that, So that's why I don't see that necessarily happening. But what I do see from Lethal coming is an opportunity to kind of be more of a, top guy in AEW. Them putting Lethal versus Moxley, a former champion. I think it's still a big thing because he's a former champion, and they want to see how he mixes it up with some of these AEW guys. But that being said, great match between these two. Both of these guys are professionals. Jay Lethal, I like to call him the most professional wrestler. He can go in there with anybody and make a good match. And there's little things that he do that if you pay attention to him, just really help the extra selling of it, and you feel like it's a more physical fight. So I know Jay Lethal is going to do big things at AEW, or will he go back to be the face of ROH? I mean, Tony Khan runs both of them. But right now, if you were the face of ROH for many years and you're in AEW like Jay Lethal is, and Tony Khan owns both companies, I mean, that's a great spot to be in for Jay Lethal. He's a fan of Jay Lethal. So I think Jay Lethal's going to do big things here. I mean, hell, Jay Lethal has enough prestige in this company or in the business to start his own faction and have his own group of guys who can come out and do shit. So I think it's going to be something that's going to be, good to look at. But I'm glad to see them in the same space. John Moxley and Jay Lethal. Glad to see them in the same space.
Yeah, most definitely. I just don't want to see Jay Lethal being lost in the shuffle after he already had two great matches with John Moxley and Adam Cole recently. So we'll have to see what his future lies. And so we had a video package from the former WWE NXT wrestler Marina Shore. In case you guys don't know who that is, she is part of the Four Horsewomen with Ronda Rousey, Shayna Baszler, and Jess Drake, and showing her AEW Dark highlights of what she has been on Dark. So they probably are promoting her to be have an appearance on Dynamite or Rampage soon. So it's kind of funny that WWE kept Ronda Rousey and Shayna Baszler, but also fired the other two members of the Horsewomen. The other two.
Yeah, I mean, I like to see these. I like to see that these tough gals are getting into it. These ladies that have legit, combat training, getting in the woman division with AEW, because the woman division does need the most work. So having like these, and no disrespect to legit Layla Hirsch, who I know trains a lot. She just doesn't look threatening. And it's nothing to do with her height or nothing to do with her stature. She just doesn't look like I'm going to really believe that she's going to go out there and really mess up somebody like Jade Cargill, who is like 6'4", So I don't think I can ever take her and say, yeah, let's push her to the moon, put the belt on. But somebody like old girl they're bringing in, who I think can look a little bit more devastating. I mean, at the end of the day, wrestling is about looks. Wrestling is about how you present yourself in the ring. And I think when AEW first started, they really wanted to have wrestlers that didn't look like the average wrestlers on WWE. So that's why we got like Marco Stunt, legit Layla Hirsch, and a couple of other like smaller guys and smaller gals. But now that they're starting to establish themselves more and get more into it, and kind of seeing how YouTube treats a lot of these wrestlers, or how the wrestling community treats a lot of these wrestlers, I think it's only natural for him to start kind of booking people that does have that threatening presence look when they go out there, because it's just going to make it feel more legit.
Yeah, most definitely. And yeah, like I mentioned, we've been mentioning before, the Oriole Cup is coming soon, so we're gonna have a lot of legit female wrestlers gonna be in the tournament soon, and then especially with the Oriole Cup, we'll get to that in a second. But
a lot of news out of that.
MJF joins commentary for the upcoming match. with FTR versus the Gun Club. The crowd was chanting "ass boys" a lot to the Gun Club,
as they do,
as you already know. Which is the sons of Billy Gunn, Mr. Ass, in case y'all didn't know. But in the final moments of the match, Warlow appeared and destroyed every security as he was heading out to the arena. He walked down up to the arena's upper floor steps towards down to the ring, but was eventually overwhelmed by a dozen security guard members. And then MJF was screaming in the commentary to get him out of here, get him out of here. Back in the ring, Billy got involved during the Covert counter sequence, but FTR was able to hit the big ring for the win. After the match, FTR was befuddled about what went down during the match, but MJF came in and calmed them down. So,
with Warlow coming through and busting up, I mean, he looks badass. And then also what that did was I understood why Dax was so pissed off at the end, because Dax is just one of those old school type wrestlers where, hey man, now your drama is starting to create chaos in my match, and now the people are looking at this guy that's coming to attack you and not, my match. So I can understand why Dax was pissed off at the end from a story point of view. But Warlow looked great coming in, just beating the hell out of all the security guys until he got down into by the pit. They all kind of clobbered him. But great storytelling again with MJF. His whole with MJF is never like just, you want to fight, let's go. It's always obstacles and things that the guy has to do to get their hand on MJF, because he is that kind of heel that, the more you build it up, the better, because people just want to see him get his, ass whipped.
Yeah, most definitely. And then, like I mentioned before, with the Pinnacle be breaking up, we already teased that FTR about to leave. We don't know what Shawn Spears is gonna do, and when MJF is by himself, I feel like he's gonna get another bodyguard to help him, because that's his persona. He needs somebody to help him to win his matches. So I feel like
this is a chicken shit heel.
Exactly. And then that's where damn, what's his name? Oh, hold up. I'm trying to think of his name. Brian Cage might be the new bodyguard for MJF because he signed a new contract.
Oh, that would be interesting for Cage in. I don't know if that's the best position for Cage, to be honest. I don't know, man. Cage is one of those guys. He looks the part. I remember watching him on the Indies and was like, wow, this guy's incredible. Watching him on Lucha Underground, I said, wow, this guy's incredible. But for some reason, he just hasn't really connected with the AEW fan base or with like the AEW style of wrestling, I guess. He just hasn't really connected. The only good match that I remember that he had is the one he had with Adam Page at I think it was Double or Nothing. That was like the one good match that I remember from Cage. But we'll see how that goes. I'm glad he's still in AEW, but they need to do something with him.
Yeah, but that's my prediction. When when the whole Pinnacle is broken up and MJ is by himself, I think he's gonna get a new bodyguard.
Man, what if Wardlow takes the AEW?
I don't know. We'll see.
Hey, did you see that story about MJF and Tony Khan getting to it backstage?
Yeah, it's all a work, folks. You see MJF talk about, oh, I hear WWE's going out of proof product, bro. It's a work. He got to 2024, and we don't know if he renewing his contract or not. But I don't think MJF is leaving. I don't. That's not the only way I see wrestlers leaving AEW to go to WWE is if Cody Rhodes, when he shows up, and if he's doing well over there, then that might prompt to AEW wrestlers having an opinion to go to WWE. That's how I see it.
So, I mean, yeah, that's the one thing. MJF and Cody, they're friends. So I'm sure he's listening to how much money Cody may be making over there and saying,
So we had a video promo hyping up Pyron's Hub versus Keith Lee for Rampage.
I like this rivalry. I didn't think I would, but I kind of do.
Yeah. And who you see taking the win this Friday?
Without cheating, Keith Lee. With cheating, Powerhouse.
And do we see Ricky Starks and Swerve Strickland get involved as well?
Maybe if they pop up, if Starks pop up, then maybe Swerve come out to stop Starks. But that's the only way I see it. Have Swerve get involved.
And, yeah, we'll see how that goes. And Chris Jericho and his appreciation signing were backstage. He said most of the revolutionary force in sports entertainment, everyone wants to join, but it's not going to be happening. GFY. Garcia said, the future endeavors, the Dark Order took Santana Ortiz and Eddie Kingston out for good. Manoa peeked behind the curtain just like last week. And they said nobody there. Hager did the same thing. But Kingston, Santana Ortiz was there. And the two groups brawled. Kingston dropped Jericho out to the stage arena, then went to the ring. He sized Jericho up for the spinning bat fist. Then Santana Ortiz set him up for the street sweep, but Jericho was bailed out of by his followers. Garcia locked in Kingston for in the Scorpion Deathlock as Jericho whacked him with a bat. Jericho whipped Kingston with his belt and hit the Judas Effect. So this definitely leaned towards a trios match, probably with Jericho, Hager, and Daniel Garcia versus Kingston and Santana Ortiz.
That was a great little brawl. I'm starting to notice that AEW, instead of doing like a match, they'll just schedule out this just big old brawl between everyone. And I was gonna say, Eddie Kingston, man, you on TV, don't wear sweatpants. That was my one gripe with that. I was like, come on, man, actually dress like somebody to be on TV. But I like to see this rivalry. It looks like, or like Pride and Powerful and Kingston is, down a guy. Maybe they need to get some extra help. I don't know who, but it looks like maybe we can kind of get somebody else in that fold to kind of even things out.
Maybe, but it might end up probably being just a trios match. That if I had to take a guess.
It could be, definitely, but it's just way more damn people, like it's like 5 versus 3. So it needs to be a little bit of an even thing, but there's also enough people to eat that at the time too.
Yeah. Jay Cargill, aka Jayberg, and Mark Sterling were backstage. They decided on Jay's 30th opponent, and Sterling brought out Layla Bates, but Jay said she was a joke. Sterling said the other options were Mayline Surfer, but she wasn't confident enough about it, and Jay wasn't phased. So, like I said before, this is leaning towards to Mark Sterling be the one to end up having Jay's streak ending.
I mean, well, it looks like they didn't want to. They didn't want to put, like, he didn't want to put somebody that's actually tough in that position. So I mean, it's what it is, and it looks like Jade is going to have a tougher opponent. But come on, man, nobody can stop Jade. She's the hottest thing out here right now, You know, I'm a huge fan of Jade, so let's keep that streak. Let's take it to 100-0, baby.
Yeah. I don't know about 100, but we'll see how that goes.
100-0. Let's go.
Bro, we'll see how that goes. So, William Regal joins commentary for the next match, and that's Bryan Danielson versus Will Yuta. And this was easily Utah's best performance at AEW. He even got some chance in there. And but in the final moments of the match, Danielson countered Yuta next move and leveled him up with a basket knee. He spat in Yuta's face, kicked his head in, and then hit the Gota style pile driver before applying the nasty label up for the win. So this is definitely Utah finally joining the crew with Regal, Danielson, and Moxley soon, but it's just a matter of time.
This is a great showing from Yuta. Like, he needed to show that he was tough. He needed to show that he can, really, hold his own. No one thought that he was going to beat Danielson, but he needs to show that he's not afraid of Danielson, that he's not afraid to, go that distance. And that's kind of what we did. And the spit at the end was just damn disgusting. But, like I said, good show by you.
Yeah, most definitely. And can't wait to see what happens. And a video promo hyping up the main event, which is Darby Allin and Andrade El Idolo, which we'll get to that in a second. But the Undisputed Elite Championship celebration. Adam Cole and the Red Dragon came out with the championship belts that they stole last week. Cole said Hangman Page, Jungle Boy, and Luchasaurus are not here tonight because they are ashamed. He said their belts are stolen because they were theirs. O'Reilly addressed the haters, but then forgot he was trying to say Fish said that they were the three baddest dudes in the company. Cole was about to cut off the celebration, but Page's music played, and he drove up in a Tesla with bull horns before taking out the three men in the ring. He dispatched O'Reilly and Fish before hitting Cole with a fallaway slam. Page set up for the buckshot, but Red Dragon pulled Cole out of the ring to save him. They retreat up to the ramp, but Jungle Boy and Luchasaurus and Christian Cage attacked behind them and brought them back into the ring. Cole avoided the buckshot, but then was backdropped into Red Dragon to the outside. So you already know this definitely leaned towards Red Dragon versus the Jurassic Express for the tag team title soon. And then the rivalry between Cole and Page are still continuing.
Oh, yeah, for sure. I ain't gonna lie, I felt a little anticlimactic when they got their belts back. I feel like even pushing that off for another week would have been good.
Yeah. And Thunder Rosa, the new women's world champion, cut a promo. She was brought out by Tony Schiavone. She said that it was a shame that her celebration was cut short last week, but she said she was the first ever Mexican-born world champion in history. That is a fact. She fought and clawed her way to the top to be the face of the division, and now she wants to be the face of all women's wrestling. People want to bring her down, but foundations remain standing, and she will remain a founder of this company. Rosa demand Nyla Rose talk things out with words or fight in the ring. No matter what, Rosa will be there. So I see this match happening at Battle of the Belts 2. Probably not at Double or Nothing, because I think Thunder Rosa might get a better opponent for Double or Nothing. So with Rosa and Nyla Rose rivalry, I see this match happening at Battle of the Belts 2 next in the coming weeks. Battle of the Belts.
Yeah, for sure. I think I can see that happening. Also, like to give it. I'm glad they gave Thunder Rosa her moment to actually talk. I feel like last week was a little bit too soon. I think if they would have did the Nyla thing this week and let her talk last week, that would have felt more natural. Great promo by Nyla, by the way.
Yeah, more definitely. And
Now it really is like, a day one AEW, and it's weird this process that we're in now of watching all of our AEW day one people get kind of pushed to the side for like some of the newer people, but having those originals there are important. It's just like, having those new matchups for our originals, original OGs. Having those new and exciting matchups is what's going to make sure they stay relevant in the new kind of AEW landscape.
yeah, and FTR were backstage. Cass said they will win the ROH tag team titles on Friday, and then the AEW tag team titles that down the road. That said they were tired of waiting and issue a challenge to the Young Bucks to determine the greatest tag team of all time. So, well, where you see this heading for FTR? Besides the whole Pinnacle breakup thing.
Yeah, this kind of hit me out of nowhere. I was like, oh, are we revisiting the Bucks versus FTR? And I think it might be setting up the greatest tag team in the world scenario now that we got the Hardys in there, because the Hardys are saying they're the greatest tag team of all time. FTR is saying they're the greatest tag team. The Young Bucks are the greatest tag team. And if we get the Briscoes in there to say the same thing, then that'd be great. What do you think about that? A four-way tag team match between the Briscoes, Young Bucks, Hardys, and FTR.
Yeah, we'll see how that happens down the road. But the Owen Cup tournament qualifier, it was the Bunny against Tony Storm. As you already know, it was Tony time, and so this was Tony's All Elite debut. Even Tony Khan said that this the mystery opponent that Bunny that they said was going to be a surprise debut, and Tony Storm was that surprise. So in that final moments, Storm came back with the lariat. She caught the thrust kick and hit the signature headbutt for the following hip attack and a big boot. A fisherman suplex bridge got the 2. Bunny came back with a power slam for the 2. She landed a thrust kick, and then a second for 2 more. Storm came back and hit Storm Zero and win, and then qualified.
Holy crap! Tony Storm is in AEW. I'm not gonna lie, I'm not too familiar with Tony Storm's work. Like, I've seen her in a bunch of stuff and I've heard her name a lot, but I'm not too familiar with her in-ring work. I was very impressed. Maybe somebody else than the Bunny should have kind of did that first match with her, but I'm excited to kind of keep seeing her, throughout and seeing how her skills kind of, when I see, I want to see her develop in front of me. Not develop, but I just want to get to know her work more. So I'm excited to see her work more with the AEW crop of current female wrestlers. But what do you think? Are you more familiar with her than I am?
Oh yeah, I even mentioned that that Tony Storm was going to be one of the participants in the Owen Hart qualifying match, and I said she was coming to AEW, and my prediction was correct. So it doesn't matter it's just a matter of time to see who else is going to be coming soon. Because like I said before, with the addition of with ROH, now we definitely going to get more elite participants in the tournament.
Yeah, it's going to be cool to see this Owen Hart Cup coming together. I'm happy to see the qualifiers are happening. Can't wait to see the men's qualifier matches happening. But also, it's good just to see Owen Hart's name, get played on TV. So excited for this tournament for sure.
Yeah, most definitely. And Nyla Rose and Vicky Guerrero were backstage. Vicky was pretty much undeniable as she wasn't speaking into the microphone. Rose said she was day one in this company and she deserves the title more.
Yeah, great promo from Nyla.
So this Friday's Rampage, we got a All Heart Founder tournament qualifier with Jamie Hayter and Sky Blue. The Young Bucks versus Top Flight. We're gonna see a Chris Stanlander promo, and then Keith Lee versus Ricky Starks. And then next week's Dynamite, we have the men's and the women's turnfire qualifiers happening, and then a tables match with the Butcher and the Blade versus the Hardys. Now, you remember the table match with the Hardy Boys and the Dudley Boys?
Yeah, for sure.
That's how level of excitement I want to see that match. That's
yeah. I think it's gonna be definitely. You know how AEW they do their things where they reset after their big pay-per-views, and then there's always that hype to like their next one. Definitely, I'm looking forward like to all the hype leading into their next one. But then they're gonna have some big matches coming up.
Yeah, and then the main event, Andre El Idolo versus the Darby Allin. So in the final moments, Darby eventually made it up the way to his feet and hit the floor over stunner for the 2. Andrade returned fire with a backbreaker for the 2. They fought on the top rope where Darby hit a ridiculous flipping crucifix bomb. He locked in a Ventura armbar. Joe, the assistant, came down, but was immediately interrupted by Sting. Butcher and the Blade attacked Sting, but Darby took them out with a dive. Back inside, Andrade hit the buckle spine muscle for the win. And then after the match, the rest of the AHFO continued to beat down Darby and Sting. Private Party came out to join the mix, but then the Hardys came out and sent the AFO packing with a twist of fate and Swanton Bomb on Quinn to end the show.
Great match with Darby and Andrade. Two huge different styles. 67-pound weight difference between the two of them. But they were able to still do a good match. A little surprised they let Andrade go over on Darby. But it just kind of makes sense. He is the bigger dude, much more muscular. But a little surprised still to let Andrade go over Darby. I'm kind of like at this point with Andrade though, I feel like he just kind of picked up this group of like jobbers from Matt Hardy, and I'm not sure if it even looks good, to have Andrade around these guys. And I'm kind of like, shit, Andrade just dropped that game and just go back to himself. But I don't know. That was kind of how I was looking at it. I was like, hey, he kind of picked up a group of losers. But because you had the Bunny just lose to his music, she came out to his music and she lost. And then now he comes out. Luckily, he got the win. But that group does kind of do a lot of job. So I don't know.
I think just as long as Andrade win his matches, then he looks good at the end. I don't care about the rest of the members. As long as Andrade looks good, that's all that matters.
Right. I definitely understand that. Yeah. But what did you think about this episode and Trico?
Oh, this was definitely a banger show, and just can't wait to see what is going to happen. And we are literally close to a month and a half away from Double or Nothing, and I can't wait to see what's to unfold. And then of course we got the Battle of the Belts 2 coming up soon in April, just to kind of keep everybody ahead before Double or Nothing. But we'll wait to see what that happens then. But that's our episode for today. And like I mentioned before, this is WrestleMania week. It's going to be a crazy week, and hopefully we could be here for the Rampage review show. Hopefully, and because you already know we always record on a Saturday, but hopefully we can get that done because, like I mentioned before, Stand and Deliver and WrestleMania Night 1 is going to be on the Saturday. So hopefully we could be here for the Rampage review.
Oh yeah, it's going to be a whole weekend of wrestling. I'm looking forward to the Ring of Honor Supercard. I want to see what Tony Khan does different. Does it feel different presentation wise? There's going to be the same commentators like what's going to be different? Will Tony Khan come out and just the Ring of Honor fan base? I'm not going to lie, this is the first Ring of Honor show that I've been thinking about purchasing, only because I know Tony Khan is a part of it. So, yeah, looking forward to see what happens. Will Cody be at WrestleMania or will he not be at WrestleMania? Will he be on Raw after Mania or no? This is the weekend where we figure out our answer to that question. And I'm kind of ready to see what happens. If he does go, it's going to be a blow to my AEW heart. But again, I'm happy for him. If he does get that big giant contract, he has a new daughter. So, happy for him on a human level. But my heart is black and gold at the moment. And I don't want to see one of our big ones go.
I mean, does AEW really need Cody Rhodes with the roster they got? I don't think so. Does WrestleMania need Cody Rhodes? Yes. Because look at that card. It's so much, it has more celebrity matches than the past WrestleManias. But yeah, but that's another story, man. But
yeah, for sure.
But we hope to see y'all on Saturday, and then and also I got to mention there is no episode this week for the Respect the Comment podcast, like I mentioned before, due to the WrestleMania week. But we'll be back with that next week, and then of course you want to share an update on MTD as well?
Yeah, man. We're getting ready to lock down our locations. We're doing hair and makeup wardrobe days coming up soon. And we're about to get ready to start shooting in May. So yeah, pay attention to Empathy because man, it's gonna be a thrill ride of a movie.
Absolutely. And other than that, he is Leland and I'm Trico, and we're signing off.
Peace.